Hello everyone, my name is Bricky. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I wanted to go ahead and discuss specifically the whole changes that are being made to the monetization system on the YouTube platform and how I personally believe that they are blown a little bit more out of proportion than they actually are, but I want to go ahead and explain both the changes and discuss, most importantly, what they mean for smaller creators on the platform. So as you can see on your screen, starting today, we're changing the eligibility requirement for monetization to 4,000 hours of watch time within the past 1 year and 1,000 subscribers. Now, this specifically means, of course, as you could tell, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time in order to be able to monetize any of your videos before you can start making any money off of those videos. Now, 4,000 hours seems like a pretty significant number, but in reality, it's actually not terrible. That, of course, is exactly 240,000 minutes watched. So let's say if you uploaded one 10-minute video and it has 24,000 views, you will have met your requirements for the year. Now, for smaller channels, of course, who get a lot fewer views, that will be a much more difficult task. However, this is through the last year, and this is also concurrent for the current channels. If your channel already meets these requirements or has that amount, then you're perfectly fine, as long as you have those 1,000 subscribers. This specifically does not affect your ability to create custom thumbnails, live stream, or any of the other things. This is simply for monetization. Now, a second part of here reads, though these changes will affect a significant number of channels, 99% of those affected were making less than $100 per year in the last year, with 90% earning less than $2.50 in the last month. Now, if you know anything specifically about AdSense, is that they will only pay you the money that you've earned through YouTube after you reach $100 exact. For instance, for me, by the time I reached 1,000 subs and had that correct watch hour time, I was only able to make $18. Now, and that $18 was never seen until I eventually was able to get up to $100 and was then paid out to me. Now, this is specifically where I come to a strange back and forth with it, because of course, like every other creator on the platform, I was at this period in which once I got to 1,000 subs or the required watch hours, the amount of money I was making was nothing. I made crap. Like I said, 18 bucks. By the time I got to 1,000 subs, I had made $18. And it took me multiple more months before I could even see that money and actually get to the $100 threshold. And if they are to be believed, 99% of those people weren't even getting that 100 bucks because they weren't making $100 in that last year for the people currently affected. So for myself, reaching that current threshold, that was about one decent dinner's worth of money. It was not a huge difference. And therefore, for someone who is, say, like me trying to start up, it is not a huge loss. While of course, every little bit does definitely help, these are very small numbers. A smaller channel has a lower base CPM, getting their ads paying less than most other channels' ads to begin with. And not only that, but obviously due to fewer views and stuff, you just simply will not make a huge amount. No one ever really has. So the amount that may be lost before you get to that period is very insignificant. This does, however, hurt one specific group of people, which are animators. Now, animators, however, have gotten the shit end of the stick by YouTube since forever. Animators have never had a great run on YouTube, which is why most animators stick to Patreon, because then they can actually have a fan base that supports them directly, because YouTube simply will not let them, or simply will not really help them out too much. Now, this is very shitty for animators, yes, but it still is not anything really new. This is YouTube being YouTube to animators. This does not change a whole lot. Now, there are a couple arguments that I have heard regarding this whole system. The first one being, of course, capital to start a YouTube channel. Like, this is the money that they earn in order to get equipment and stuff to make YouTube videos, a microphone, a webcam, recording software. And while I can understand that the amount of money made from this is not going to be either enough or really matter too much, specifically when it comes to making stuff on YouTube. For instance, the first voice video I made had a HyperX headset microphone as the microphone I chose because, well, I was already using the headset because I was a game player. I had the headset on hand. Combine that with the fact that I wasn't using a camera and I was using NVIDIA Shadowplay, which is a free recording software, or I could have been using OBS, which is as well a free recording software. The requirement to get up and get started isn't too huge. Now, of course, that isn't the best possible choice. For instance, if you wanted to buy yourself, say, a webcam or a better microphone, generally the microphone will run you around $100 maybe. You can get it cheaper on Craigslist or something, as well as the camera around $50 to $70. This is stuff, these are startup costs. And like with any business, startup costs for a new business generally come from you working your own job, working your own side project. Every startup business requires a certain amount of capital. YouTube requires a significantly smaller amount of capital, but you can't necessarily go into trying to start making money and expect the money to be used on that business to immediately start coming towards you. You have to have startup costs, and that's just simply what it is. And even so, your loss of startup costs, like I mentioned, $18. It's very minimal. Now, the one thing that does, however, bug me about this is the reason for the changes. Now, I originally had no clue as to why these changes, specifically affecting smaller people, would come from the Logan Paul scandal, from the Logan Paul controversy, from the Logan Paul crappy ass video that he made. Why would this be the response to that? Now, of course, he did have his own thing happen to him. He was removed from the Google Ad Preferred program, and his YouTube Red series is on hold. So yes, he had received some small, very minute punishments, to be perfectly honest. But where did this come from? I was very confused as to why. I had no idea why in the hell this was the case. However, fellow YouTube friend Frothy Omen decided to mention a quick little thing. This could be a way to help lighten the workload. And specifically that reason being, of course, you all know about the demonetization, the adpocalypse, how so many of my videos have to be consistently manually reviewed over and over again because they're being demonetized for reasons that are incorrect because of their poor algorithm bot. Now, the idea, at least the idea he mentioned, was that because you have so many very odd and frightening channels, especially coming on the far, far bottom levels, for instance, things like Spider-Man and Elsa and all that kind of crap that comes up and gets a bunch of monetized views, they want to kind of taper and get that stuff out of there so a channel can't just pop up, make something horrible, and get a bunch of money from it. And not only that, but if they aren't able to monetize it, then they will not have to work through manually reviewing this smaller channel. Therefore, they can put more time and effort into the larger channels or to make sure that those larger people are not doing stupid shit. That is a theory. That is not a terrible theory, but not one that I trust entirely, mainly because YouTube and communication do not mix very, very well. There is a possibility. I will wonder and see if maybe as time goes on, perhaps my videos don't get as demonetized or they are able to be refuted and fixed a lot faster than that could possibly have been the reason. But at the time, the correlation is rather strange. So I'm not entirely sure what to deal with that. I did want to mention something to the newer people, to the people who are starting YouTube, who want to start YouTube and stuff like that, because I get a ton of questions all the time. Bricky, I want to do YouTube. I'm trying to make videos. It's not working. What's your advice or what's wrong? And this is where it becomes a difficult thing for me, because if I go to said person's channel, 95% of the time I see the same thing. I see about 2 videos uploaded in the past 2-3 months. They don't have custom thumbnails. They don't have specific titles. They don't have a good description. Their tags are all over the place. They're recorded in a poor quality. The voiceover, the structure of the video is poorly made. There is so many possible reasons as to why this person may not be doing so well. And when I see specifically people who upload so rarely on this platform, who barely make any content for it, I don't see someone who's really passionate about YouTube, unless this stuff is specifically very high quality content, like, you know, people who make 1 video a month, but that video is the highest production value you've ever seen. Those are different. But when I see someone make barely anything and not put any effort into it, they don't have a profile picture, they don't have channel art, they don't have these things, I'm not expecting you to do well because you're obviously not passionate about it. And I mean it, every single YouTuber I have ever spoken to all started from a hobby. We all did it because we liked it, because we enjoyed it, because we liked making videos. Almost every single one of us would still make videos even if we didn't get any money from it. Obviously, we make probably fewer and the production quality would be lower, but we'd still do it as a hobby. Of course, now this is my full-time job, and therefore I have higher quality stuff because of that, better camera, better microphone, lighting, etc., etc. But we find it fun. That's the big difference, is we find it enjoyable. When I see someone who doesn't upload a lot, who doesn't do this kind of stuff, and they say, oh, damn, YouTube is killing my channel, I think, no, you have killed your channel. This is not a YouTube thing. YouTube is not your scapegoat. This is a you thing. And I'm sorry to be rude and I'm sorry to be harsh, but that is so more often than not, the main problem. It is a you thing. Now, YouTube is not kind to small creators. That is a fact. They are not good people to small creators, and that does suck. And getting a start on YouTube is extremely hard. I've had to do it. Everyone else who is any larger had to do it. And we all admit that the beginning was incredibly tough. I worked a full-time job, 40 hours a week as an EMT while taking 3 college courses, and I made 3 videos a week and streamed at least 2 times a week as well. I fucking slaved. Every moment that was not eating, working, or class was YouTube. And it paid off, as you can tell, because I liked it, because it was fun, because it was enjoyable, because I was excited to make the next story time with the next silver guy. I wanted to do this kind of stuff. And when I see someone who doesn't upload anything, who doesn't seem to put any effort, any major passion into it, then I think that's not YouTube, that's you. I'm sorry. Everyone who's ever gotten big on YouTube, who's ever been successful, did it because they enjoyed it. If you enjoy it, if you like it, then these changes, you don't care about them too much. This doesn't matter to you very much because the money you'll be making is nothing to begin with, and you want to do it because you want to do it. That's the major thing that comes out. That's why I think it's being blown so heavily out of proportion, because it doesn't really change a whole lot at all. But of course, because people like to point at YouTube and say you're the problem, and trust me, YouTube is the problem a lot of the time. But if the channel's not getting to this number, that is either you haven't done enough, you're too new, or it's on you. I'm sorry, I don't like to be so harsh and so pointing the finger, and I know it makes it seem like I don't give a shit about smaller people, but smaller people are what make YouTube. Smaller people are the new up and coming. They're exciting. I wore this shirt from what was originally a smaller YouTuber. I bought this shirt because they started growing, because they made good videos, they were passionate, they enjoyed themselves. Sad world. They're a lot bigger now, but they weren't when I started. That's the point. That's the point. I was there. I started small like everyone else did. And through time, effort, and a love for it, here I am. I want to see more people in my spot. Please. Please. I want to see more of you where I am. Because that means you did a good job and you make good shit. That's fun. Anyway, that's it for me. I want to talk about it a little bit more. I kind of got a little bit off topic. I'm sorry about that. But that's all I got. I love where I am. I love what I do. I think it's fantastic. It can be stressful, it can be a pain in the ass sometimes, but at the end of the day, I can't see myself anywhere else. I'm thankful for the people who watch my stuff. I'm thankful for the people who tune in on Twitch stream. I'm thankful for everything that I have, but I do feel like that I've grinded and slaved enough to the point where I've deserved it. I'm thankful to everyone who supports me, and I do feel like that I've deserved the spot I've gotten to, and I feel proud of myself. And I want more people to do the same. Okay. Bye-bye.